Hey, this is Captain Paul Brawley with Fish Finder Guide Service. It has been windy. The last couple of days, the wind has slowed down a little bit, and the water in some places is clearing up. We're not seeing quite as much brown tide, although there still is some. It doesn't seem to be affecting the fishing that much. As far as red fishing goes in the Laguna, it's almost non existent. Trout fishing, on the other hand, is on fire. So we're going to start out here looking at this east drop, and it would be the entire east drop past pure oil, way down in here to Emmerds. Anywhere in this zone, you can pretty much pull up and start catching trout as long as you have some croakers. We're using number 7 Kale hooks. If you want to use a shaker, the shakers seem to be working just fine, and guys that are free lining them are also doing well. That area right there is a long stretch, and you will see boats lined up and down it. One thing I can say is try to be courteous. Don't get in front of other people. Try to keep a good 100 yards on either side. It is many miles of shoreline right there, or not shoreline, but many miles of the drop right there where there's fish from one end of it to the other. Fishing is quite good through that area. I would think that it would be no problem to catch everyone on your boats. 3 trout limit very easily. Remember, the trout are 15 to 20 inches. You can keep 3 a day. You can keep one right now over 30. And I believe that will change to 1 over 28 with a tag in September. But there is no reason not to go out and get in on the action. Plenty of trout in that zone that I indicated. If you are just really needing to get some reds, you could try around any of these little islands right in here. With the tide being up, fish the windward side of the islands. You can be throwing cut sardines, cut skipjack, maybe some finger mullets if you can get them. Be prepared to be patient and wait quite a while, and you will pick up maybe 1 or 2 reds around those islands. The red fishing that was going on in Nighthawk and along the spoils has slowed down quite a bit. There are at times out there in that same drop that we were talking about, this area here, this same drop, there have been some bull reds. So you can, while you're fishing for trout, accidentally pick up a bull red through there. It's not unheard of. But I would say, as far as red fishing, be prepared for a long, slow day. Okay, next I'll talk a little bit about trying to get some wade fishing in. Um, Anywhere around these spoils, this spoil here, this spoil here, and these spoils right here. Anywhere around all those spoils, you can get out with a bucket of croakers. You can walk, you know, very slowly, just throwing the croakers out in front of you and popping them. Very easily pick up your trout. You could possibly pick up a couple of reds waiting, but those spoils seem to have them. You could also get you a 4 horseman cork and come around to the back sides of these islands with your boat, and you can fish the windward sides of these islands and pick up possibly some black drum and maybe a red or 2 and possibly a couple of trout on the windward sides. Could be pretty decent. I like using the 4 horseman cork, live shrimp, about a 15-inch drop with a 1/32 ounce lead head or a 1/8 ounce lead head, and just popping it quite a bit. I'm liking that. I have gotten some different 4 horseman corks now. They have the titanium wire where they're not getting bent. The wire doesn't bend on them nearly as easy. They have a really good sound, and you're gonna not like, I don't know. I seem to have a problem bending them all the time. I'll get them bent, and then the cork won't slide and it won't make the right noise. But the new ones they made with the titanium wire, they're a little bit more, but they're worth every penny. So kind of look those up. The Four Horsemen cork with the titanium wires. Straight across here on this west side, we're still having a little bit of brown tide issues through here. However, the drift fishing, backing off to the drop and then back into the shallows, has been producing some pretty big trout and a few of the oversized reds. I would be trying to use the down south lures with the paddle tails. You could use Berkeley power baits. Anyway, all through there, you could try to catch you some reds and trout using lures. Their tide it's brown, but you can still see the sand holes and stuff like that. So I would use the brighter colors like lime greens and whites and glows, but there are some fish still being had through there. Anyway, just good thing to know, just to try to make some drifts through there and see what you can catch. So we're going to move on to another little section next. All right, next we're going to talk about another area. I've talked about it in the past. It would be the area right all through here in front of this spoil and just south of the Bird Island Channel. All that area there has been having lots of really nice trout and some oversized reds. I'll be fishing trout, with the croakers, number 7 cow hook, and all of a sudden everybody on the boat will hook up an oversized red and or a couple of oversized and a keeper red. But all through there has been a lot more effective as far as using the croakers for trout and possibly hooking a red. You can also try the back sides of these spoils all through here, once again with the Four Horsemen corks and with live shrimp for your black drums, redfish, and trout. Behind this island, and some of these spoils a little further south. There have been some flounders around these little cuts between these islands, but not as many as maybe this time of year in the past, but there still is a few being caught through there, so that would be a good area to look for your flounders. Let's look at these sandbars back here with the tide still being high. All these sandbars, you could still get out and wade them and sight cast reds and black drums all through these back areas, all these sandbars right here. They're about knee-deep water right now with little troughs and guts. About midday, you could pull the boat up onto the sand right here and get out and start walking, and you should come up with a couple of reds to sight cast and possibly some black drums. Anytime I'm walking with lures looking for reds, I'll have a little pocket full of my shirt pocket will be full of shrimp. I may put them in a bag or put them in my lure bag where I have a few shrimp in case I see a drum, because some drums will start running these sandbars also, and it's nice to be able to pull your lure off and put a shrimp on and throw over there and catch some of those drums. Really good table fare. Anyway, that's our report for this week. Hope you guys have good luck and be courteous to each other and catch a bunch of fish.